For taking the time to meet with me, Councilmember Wright.
Thank you for having me here.
And I would like to know why you're running for District 4 this time around.
Well, fortunately, my seat is no longer available as the at-large member. It is now going to be the mayor's seat. And because of that, the District 4 seat is available currently, and I feel that my work is not done. And because of, I will never run for mayor. And so I decided to go ahead and represent District 4 as it should be represented, and I decided to run.
I believe it's a strength that you've been in this seat for 2 years and heard from all of at-large, and that you're focusing on your district. So I thank you for wanting to run for your district.
Thank you.
So what are some of the reasons why you decided to run again?
There's a laundry list. I think one of the big ones is we need a lot of transparency within the city right now. We need the transparency with city council. We need it with staff. And it's in all areas. The budget is a big one. I'm very concerned with the budget, and I firmly believe that in order to have the citizens understand what's going on with our budget, we need to be completely transparent. Our emergency fund has gone down dramatically as to what we've had, and I've said this at council multiple times. We were always taught to have an emergency fund of at least 3 months. I mean, COVID's a perfect example. They kept drilling that to us. But the city believes that that's not important to have an emergency fund of that amount. I keep hearing 2 months is okay, and now suddenly it's a month and a half, or a month and a couple of weeks, or a couple of days, and it has dropped quite a bit, and I'm concerned about that. We need to come up with a solid amount. We need to be very transparent. I am not okay for us to end up in a position like Denver is. And when they're laying off people, when they're doing mandatory furloughs, and I just heard the other day that their 311, which I think is a great program for a big city, you dial 311 if you have any questions at all, and they will get you to the correct department. They will answer your questions. That has been cut down dramatically. The hours are being cut down. They're not rehiring any staff that they're losing and stuff, and that's a huge loss to the citizens of the city. I don't want to be in that position where we are not rehiring, where we're playing checkers with staff and stuff like that, and I think that's a huge one. I think that, and other people that are running, crime's a huge one. I also think that we need to have solid plans. This Tri-Cities homeless initiative, we've put, hundreds of thousands of dollars towards it, and nothing's been done. We need to take a good look at that. Does it need to exist?
And did we give like a million out of the ARPA
funds?
ARPA, and then everybody else put in less in the. I knew everybody else
between the three cities.
Yes.
It was split up, and that is something that I raised a red flag. I'm like, why do we have three cities where Littleton is the biggest of the three, and then you have Sheridan that's pretty small, and then Englewood. Why is Englewood and Littleton paying equal amount of money towards a coordinator where Littleton should be paying more? And why does Englewood always, house everything and give up this and that, and they did relook at that and change the distribution on the amount of money for the coordinator that the cities pay. So Littleton does pay more, but I don't know what does data-driven mean? Does this person just collect data and do nothing? I don't understand what's been done. I still don't after.
Well, thank you, because then I don't feel so bad.
Yes. That money could have gone towards services or figuring out something that needs to be done. It's a problem throughout, the nation, and I don't know where that money's going to.
Yeah. Well, when you ran for the at-large position, I voted for you because you were all about fixing infrastructure before density.
Yes.
How do you feel about that now?
Even more strongly. More strong. I said it before, if you cannot, and thank you for voting for me, if you cannot you have to fix what's under the street. You have to have enough police officers to deal with the added amount of people that come into the city. And I know that some will argue, well, we only have 2,000 more citizens compared to what we had, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's 2,000 more people, but if you've not added a certain percentage of more officers, people don't understand that our infrastructure is 70 years old. I understand that the medical center and stuff, they are updating a lot of those pipes. And maybe where they're building near Oxford and Santa Fe, they have updated some of those pipes, but not everything, and not all the pipes, not the sewage. It's the storm drains, and they may update some of the stuff, but it's not all updated. And if you're not updating everything,
we're going to have the same sinkhole, just in a different spot.
That's right. We need to be updating everything. This city under the ground needs an overhaul, and nobody has mentioned what our electrical looks like at all. I have not heard a whisper of it. Yeah. So what does our grid look like? And that's a problem. And I have the catchphrase this year has been affordable housing and stuff. When you're building apartments, how is anyone ever going to own a home? And it's a hot topic for me. It leaves me speechless almost.
So what is another topic for you that sets you apart from?
I have absolutely been slammed because I say election integrity. So people think of election integrity and they think at the federal level. Absolutely not. It starts at home also. It starts at our municipal elections. And it means being fair. It means that everybody has the rules. It means everybody understands the rules. And I'm not trying to throw our city clerk under the bus. It starts with city council. It starts with city council knowing the laws that are currently at the state, and as a home rule city, we should be able to decide, are we going to make our own ordinances and rules for our own municipal elections, or are we going to follow the state? And as a home rule city, that's what we should be doing. And as a current candidate, it is then, once the council legislates what laws we are going to have, then it is up to the city to make sure all candidates know the rules. And that is part of election integrity. And I feel that this city skipped a beat this year. I really do. Citizens can say it's up to the candidates to know the rules and stuff. I would invite them to go look for them. Go look in the Secretary of State's Facebook and see what the rules are for Englewood this year. It's very difficult to find them, and you won't. And we need to change that. We really do. It is up to the city council to make sure moving forward that the laws and the rules are very clear. Any election moving forward, and that's a big election integrity to me. And I don't think people are thinking about that. So that's one of the big ones.
And I like how you said transparency in the very beginning, and
Yes.
it's transparency throughout.
Everything we do needs to be transparent. And one of my other things that I've been thinking about, this city absolutely needs to stay out of things that they don't belong in. If it is official city business, that is fantastic. If there are off groups that it is not official city business, the city cannot be taking sides on things. They cannot be involved. They have, it gives it's a bad look on the city. It gives a look of favoritism. I have been seeing and hearing from people all over the city saying that it is a big issue. People have written all of council saying that when it comes to different issues that they are really tired of seeing the favoritism. And I think that's something that comes to the transparency, and it's something that the city needs to work on. If it comes to getting a license for something, when it comes to building a home, I guess it would be permits, or wanting to have a block party, or coming to council to speak, and getting your 3 minutes, and how council treats different individuals. We need to be fair to everybody all the time. You either treat everybody good all the time, or you treat everybody bad all the time. Pick what you're going to do, but do it all the time. And I think that the city as a whole has a problem in how they treat people, and that needs to change from the top down.
And I felt that. How many times are we going to talk about single hauler trash?
Oh, yeah. That's what got me started. That's why I'm sitting here. That's
Yes.
right. Yes, 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 yes.
And I just want to say thank you, because when I spoke at City Council about what is this bridge going to do for me that I'm never going to take, it's like the bridge to China.
Yes.
I'm never taking this bridge.
Yes.
And can I still get to work?
Yes.
And my opponent said, but you're going to be able to get across this bridge. And I'm like, I never want to go across it.
Right.
You're not listening to me. Time and time again, these council members are not listening to the people. And I've talked many a times, probably too many, and
No.
they don't answer you. They
Right.
just say thank you and here, and they do that. And so he addressed all 3 of my points, yet never answered any of them. And I
Right.
just want to say thank you for your council request at the end of how is this going to impact her in her wheelchair getting across Santa Fe, and how's she going to get under to get to work.
Right.
You heard me.
Yes.
And I am so thankful to have you as a part of our community, because you listen to those who have different abilities and have different situations. And I've heard you respond with concern and get responses, and I just appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for bringing that up, because I think that's a perfect example of you need to listen. You've got to get out of your computer. You got to quit sitting there typing and doing whatever you're doing and actually listen. I take notes. So during public comment, I'm taking notes on what people are saying, but you've got to be active listener too at the same time as to what I was saying. And I don't even know who was giving feedback back, that David, I'm sitting there listening. What are you talking about?
And it was your opponent.
Okay. Well, you could throw him out under the bus. Yes,
Nope.
because it was simple. What you were asking
It's like
will.
night and day.
Yes, we'll send.
This is an example
Will Oxford be
of
closed?
why I'm endorsing you.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, and I think you bring up another good point. Is as someone that lives with a disability myself. Quite often, those with any kind of disability, it could be a physical disability, it could be a mental disability, it could be any type of disability, are unheard, underserved quite often within the city. And Englewood has the highest ratio of those with disabilities in Colorado, and a lot of it has to do with Craig. And we should be tripping over ourselves. People with disabilities spend money. They work within the city. They live within the city. They're taxpayers also. And just had a conversation about how half the time I can't even walk on the sidewalk. It has to be on the street because the sidewalks aren't walkable. The big push now is we want to be able to ride our bikes, but with so many people with disabilities in this city, we can't even walk on the sidewalks safely with I think it was called a tripod.
I called you a tripod, yes. And I wanted to thank you for that, because in my wheelchair, when there is no crosswalks, even when there is, they pull up to the green bicycle lanes, which that's unintended consequences.
Right.
I have to be so safe out there. I don't even drive on the sidewalks because I'm like, if anything happens crime-wise, I'm stuck.
Right.
I'm a sitting duck. So that's why I go in the street with these crazy drivers.
Yes.
And so I thank you that I remember when in 2021, these bicycle lanes, I'm like, we're going to have unintended consequences. And if we do too many more unintended consequences, we're going to be in a hurt.
Right, and like the conversation we had, they're not going to care until somebody gets hurt. And because they don't forward think that way, and that's a big issue to me. And I've said it out loud many times, but it's all about me, and that's part of the problem, so.
For some.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Move to District 4 to vote, and then,
I've already moved out of District 1. I'm moving my way down. Don't tempt me.
So, thank you for this.
Are you going to move me?
I know someone with muscles, so.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.